So right now I'm using Citadel. This is a dark brown shader. So dab, 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 dab. And I got these chests. So what I want to do is I want to keep the brown that's already in there. I want to fill in some accents. Add a little texture to it. Just dab, 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 dab. Grab a rag. Dab, 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 dab. You can kind of see on one side, it's all clean. And on this one, in the grooves, it's darker. But I'm not overpowering the brown with like a black contrast. It would just make the whole thing too dark. I mean, I might try this with one of the other ones. Get a little bit in there. Dab, 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 dab. What's the thing in my mouth? Dab, 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 dab. Dab, 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 dabs. Let's get it all in those crevices there. I think the sides don't have deep enough crevices for it to really sink into. Because yeah, the first side. I'll do it again. A little bit more in the front. Alright. Throw that in the water. Dab, 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 dab. Dab, 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 dab. And here we got another one unpainted. Oh, that's different. Here we go. Let's do a little side-by-side comparison. That's a noticeable difference. Back looks the best. Okay. That's looking nice. Taste my lightning. So for this one, I used the same technical green. This one's just kind of like a stainer. I actually got this one for free because you can see how congealed it is on the bottom. It was super separated, so I don't even know if this one's like still good. But I was able to paint clear plastic. This is how it came. It's just like clear plastic acrylic. By using the stainer, you can kind of keep that semi-translucent look to it. I thought that was great. But then what I did is I tried putting it on like his face, forearms, the ground, the front of his clothes. Try and do like a lighting effect. So like the lightning was illuminating the front of him, but with the flesh tones, it just makes him look sick. So I'll probably go back over his face with some flump pink. Or something, I don't know. Make a little change here. Okay. What was I doing? Alright, this. It's just not really staying in there. Maybe I will use the contrast. Oh, no, here we go. Not the contrast. The null oil. Nah, I don't need the little one. I want a bigger one. don't think I'm even going to wipe that one. I think I'm just going to let it dry that way. Let's get a little more on there. I'm just smearing wet. I'm just like wetting it. I'm not getting the actual. There, now I can at least see some of it on there. I'm just gonna go heavy on this one. It's gonna be like a dingy looking chest. You know, it's dark and moldy in them dungeons. No cleaning, lady. We'll do the lid too. I'll start on the sides. There we go. That one. See, I'm just wetting it again. When I bought these, I didn't know that the lids and the bases were separated. And I guess it's like, oh, you can pop it open and look at what's inside. But I couldn't fit. I couldn't even fit a note in this thing, so I didn't see the point in doing that. I'm going to let this dry a little bit and then see if I can pat down some of the excess. I just hope I don't forget about it. Alright, let's do a little bit of this null oil on this one. This one I used contrast on it to dirty up the stones. Now I'm going to use a little shade null oil. Yeah, let's get in those cracks there. Oh, that's looking good. Oh yeah, there. If you're trying to fill in some cracks, you just use a little null oil. That'll fill your crack in a jiffy. It will. I'm really trying to get away from the habit of just spray painting things black and then just dry brushing them like crazy. Like, it works with some things, it doesn't work with everything. A little bit of my gray came off there. Alright, whatever. Screw it. Yeah, it's like mud or something. One thing I liked about the Citadel bottles is like when you shake them and then you open it up, you got like just the perfect amount on this little lip tongue thing here. A bit much. Here's my rack. Yep. I'm gonna need to do some like highlight detail on this because this thing just got so dark now. Like it's getting muddied. Yeah. My well, I think, turned out really well. Ah, shit. As I drop it into a bunch of green. Yeah, that turned out so well. I'm gonna, actually, since I got the oil right here, brush off some of this excess. put it on the rope. On the bucket, so that way they look wet. Really, it's just to fill in the grooves there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm one of those painters that'll just jump from one thing to the next and let so much of this go to waste. Like I'll do a little glob, you know, I don't pour a bunch out. Oh no, the paper's sticking to it. Oh. Now it just looks like it has mold on it. Yeah, this Kleenex is too soft. I've been using this paper towel for way too long. Oh wait, there's some good spots in it. Hang on. There we go. Pick you up. Paper towel's doing it too. Now let's compare it. Actually, no. I think that was successful. Yeah, no. I think that worked out pretty well. Yeah. Let's compare it to a body. Yeah. I mean, it's going to look better once we get the metal done. Speaking of which, where's my rune thing? Little rune thing steel. Oh, you know what? Actually, no, I use a lot of rune thing steel, like all the time. Like I used it here on these tables, and I like it, but I'm gonna challenge myself and not use it. Where is it? I've got some mithril silver. I don't think I've ever used. Let me shake it. Okay. Ooh, that came out. That came out super easy. Okay. Oh yeah, let's use a little tiny brush that's like 8 hairs. If you look, this was a normal brush that I actually like trimmed away at. Yeah, alright. Okay, so the mithril silver, if you look at it, it's actually like without the glare. Actually, the glare kind of proves my point. This is like a darker bluer, whereas this is just like chrome. Like a peppered chrome. This... Yeah, I'm gonna use the... Ah! Lock it into place. There we go. Won't be able to get the bottom yet, but whatever. That makes it so much easier to hold. Get one of these. Get one of these. It looks like a weird plug, but it looks like a plug, but definitely get one. It makes holding things so much easier. Start gently along the rim. Nope, nope, I'm getting it on the board. Looks like there's a center bar in there. little bit goes a long way. So what I'll do when I glob too much onto something, if I were to leave that just as it is, those hinges, the paint will dry and it'll just fill in the cracks and leave it all gloopy and like one big solid mass. What you can do quickly, I should probably get another tiny brush for this. Clean your brush off and then brush / scrape away the excess. So if you look real closely there, the one on the left here, you can see there's like the individual grooves. A little more so than on this side. This side, I think if I remove this, you'll see it even better. Both of them look better now. Okay. I don't have to clean off my brush. I could just go right back at adding the silver. Like a non-reflective iron. I've tried mixing Citadel paints. It doesn't normally go well. I kind of wonder if that's by design, so that way they can... I mean, they have a huge lexicon of colors and paints, which is great. But because you can't mix your own as easily, it kind of forces you to buy other colors. It's a marketing ploy. So I'm gonna put this on here. Since I'm probably gonna just glue these together, there's no point in these even being separate. I'm wondering if that was a molding decision. Yeah, I'm not gonna fill that in. Just gonna let that dry. Center. Ooh, made it halfway. Oh yeah. Did you like that? I like that. Now I got nowhere to safely, like, hold this, so... Let's do the top side first. Totally missing the camera. There we go. No, no! Oh! Yeah, it's all right. So half the sparrows don't the Rune Fang. And no, it's not going to match, but I want to see... Oh, I heard something. Alright. I want to see how... Oh, is this still wet? No? Alright. I want to see how they compare side by side. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Interesting spots on this table. So this stuff is made of more like rubbery plastic, and some of the paints would like run off. You see that? Like a non-porous. But if you just kind of keep applying layers, eventually you'll have like a film. You can't really see it, but you'll have like a film your next layer of paint will adhere to. Like that's not gonna run off. That's gonna stay. I know you're thinking, Loki, why are you painting the bottom? So that I want my players to be like, I flip over a table. And you can take cover behind it. Side angle. Cover! Every player should know when to take cover. Give cover. Share cover. Because DMs always forget to give monsters sharpshooter. Okay. Is Tegan still sleeping? Tegan! Hey! You're gonna ruin your sleep cycle. No, wake up. You gotta figure out dinner soon. We're just doing leftovers tonight? Okie dokie. Ranger. This is from one of the board games. Actually, I painted a whole bunch of these. But I gotta keep them separate from the other board games, because otherwise, you go to play something, you don't have the right piece. Ooh. Now this one has a chance to be really pretty, because... No. Wait, which side's... This way. This is the top. Because of the way the books stack. You can do some really vibrant, colorful bindings on these books here. I gotta get that camera fixed. Dun, dun, dun. The vibe is immaculate, chat proves. Well, thank you, Vinf. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm not going to paint the wood on this one again, like I was doing with this chest. I'm going to keep that same rubbery brown it came in, but I am going to start with some... I'm going to start with making a mess. I'm going to start with some contour. Where's that Knoll oil? That was working great. Just gonna dab. Get it all in there. got two kinds of brushes I like to use. I got my like splayed ones that I just get it everywhere. And then I got the nice flat ones that like stay clean and pointy and get into those hard to reach places. Sometimes you just gotta like, where was it? It was this guy. When you want to try and get this spot behind his back here, and you don't want to like push in and accidentally like get a strip on the side, so you want that thin one that you can just ease it into. And my stream just went from G to 13 with that move. Dab. Okay. Do all the interior first. Wow, this is like pretty heavy. Yeah, I want to do the inside first, and then I can do all that on the outside. So get this, twist this down to make a little point. I'll just start poking it. Pull all that excess. I'll have to make a new point. After a while, it loses its absorbency. No. Alright, here's what I'll do. I'll take this and I'll just make oh, let's get powder. My light is catching really. My light is catching the like powder residue of these tissues. Dab, 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 dab. Just throw that one away. Dab, 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 dab. In that crevice. Oh, you know what? I wonder, because of the small bit of residue that's being left on these, I wonder if I can create like a spider web kind of look. Just those loose little strands. That'd be cool. Okay. I'm gonna let this dry. It's a little more than I wanted still in there, but I'm gonna go over it again with the brown shader. Just a lot lighter, like actually precision shade that, because I use this brown shader, this little altar podium thing, and this doesn't have anything other than its base brown and that shader. That looks pretty good. There was a book with this. Where'd the book go? Oh, there you are. That's great. Well, it's drying. Let's paint a book. So this thing just kind of like rests on there, like so. I don't know why I painted the backside. I know I'm going to glue this to it. Because this is, if I don't glue this to it, this piece is going to get lost in the game store, like, the second it comes out. So I want that kind of parchment page look. So what I'll do, take just a tiny bit, This is normal words. This is normal acrylic paint. Little bead right there. That's too much even. And I'm gonna take the khaki. I'm gonna take just a little bit of the lawful white. Put it off. Little bead over there. These little bottles go a long way if you don't waste it. And I'll take the white. I'll start mixing. Take the khaki. Start mixing that. Just so I can get like a lighter. Lighter kind of khaki. Get that parchment kind of look. I know it's hard to see because everything's all blown out. But already, this is pure white, this is that khaki, and this is like nice. Well, khaki white. There we go. Alright. Because this is so hard to hold, I'm only going to do half of it at a time. I'll do like the right page. Let it dry. Hope that doesn't go. Do the other side. Press flat. So that way all the streaks are this good. Ooh, actually, idea. If I go out in a horizontal manner, then the streaks kind of look like lines of text. A little bit. A little bit, actually, yeah. It's like words on a page. Okay, cool. Genius. Let that dry. Set that one up aside. That should dry pretty quick because it's a super thin layer. This should also have dried by now. I'm going to flip it. Get in there. Check to see how my room thing. Good. It's still wet. Oh, wait, sorry, not room thing. That's mithril silver. Okay. Dab. Dab. Just tiny little strokes all the way across. No more. It, like, on the bottom here where I kind of smudged a little bit, I don't care about that. This thing's going to be like that 100% of the time on the board, so... Unless you're one of those DMs that likes to, like, hide encryptic messages on the underside of a chest. But yeah, go ahead and write a riddle that small. Good luck. Alright, that was pretty quick. See, I bounce around. I'm jumping between things. You know what? I'm gonna hit that with a little contrast. Did I not clean that? I did not clean that one. Okay. So I did the shade, but I do want to hit a little contrast on this one. So this stuff is, I want to say, stronger than the shade. It's not as, like, watered down. Yeah, it's not as watered down. So, even more goes a long way. Do this on the outside. So this is my dab 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 one, but okay, so see, this is what I was talking about. Like, there's something about just the natural rubber on this that causes it to, like, not take, and it just beads off. Like, it's hydrophobic, which is stupid. Just let the water get married. It looks like this panel just has wood rot. Yep. I want to experiment on something. If I screw up, oh well. It's the backside of the bookshelf. Just go real heavy on it. A little more. We're gonna get all the way up to the bottom and top. Okay, now take that out of my mouth so I can talk. Dip, 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 dip. Woo! Okay. I rubbed off 90% of what I put on, and then dropped it. But I got another one to compare it to. That does darken and age it. These are the same material, and just looking at it, like, I got like aspen versus dark cherry wood. Okay, this is actually working. This is the book. Perfect. The other page side done. Mix a little bit more of my khaki white. Grip on the far side. Sides of the pages. Crosswise. Flip over. So remember to roll your paintbrush. So like I'm brushing. There's all this paint on the top I'm not using. So if I just roll the brush over. Look at that. I'm going to come back to this one because I want to do one small bit of detail to it. I'll let the brush soak while I do that. My model keeps going all Joker face. Okay, back to this one. I want to keep staining this one dark. This would probably look better if it wasn't so hydrophobic. Like, it would just take better. But, yeah, it is what it is. And then, side here. And I dab, I don't streak. Because I don't want to get into the grooves of the model and wipe away more than what I want to. First, I want to go right in between those two bolts there. I went real heavy on this one. Is that the top or bottom? That's the top. Yeah, so this is going to get seen more than probably anything else. I just made it the darkest one of all. I shouldn't have soaked this yet. What am I doing? Where did I go? What? Reset. There we go. Model be acting all crazy, yo. No, this isn't the same one, but whatever. Let's just hit on that little corner I missed. Now, so we get a little technical. We're going to go deep in these big crevices, some of the contrast, and then we're not going to dab it away. I want to create that kind of shadowed area look. I probably could have just done just this instead of doing the null oil, but whatever. Yeah. It's looking good. Alright. We'll let this dry. Chest. Lid. Ah, dang. Don't want that on there. Can I scratch that out? Kind of? Wait, maybe. No, that's not looking good. In fact, I think I accidentally scraped some of the off the bar there. Take a little bit of bugbear brown, which probably isn't even dark enough, but fine. Kind of the darkest one I got without mixing. Lightly go over and make it look like we're doing wood accents. Like this tiny piece. Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. And I'll pinch this back corner. Get some of that rune thing going. Looking good. Hell yeah. The other big side here. I'm using like the flat edge of the brush. And I'm just benefiting from the fact that this part is like a half of a centimeter more protruded than all that in the middle. If I press too hard, I would push the brush hairs into the groove. Go up, over the top. And now we have a happy little lid. Where's that other barrel? Finish the bands on that since I got all this metal going. So I've got two here. I was trying to experiment with like same thing, like some aged touched wood, doing a little contouring inside, but it didn't play out too well. I think. Barrels of gay. You know, I was about to roll this thing right onto my finger. I shouldn't do that. I should roll it from the bottom here. Sometimes I find it easier to move the model than it is to move the brush. This is nice because it's a straight line. I can just kind of like align it onto the track and then just rotate the barrel. See that? Like the brush isn't even moving. Sometimes when you're like, if you're brushing like this, you get those little flicks. All it takes is a couple of these like rogue thistle hairs off to the side. Now you got weird little streaks. So I was pushing my pinky on right here to stabilize my hand. What I'll do is I'll stabilize it against my other finger. That way I've got like multiple points of contact. I got my arms resting on the table. I'm channeling my fingers together. rendering while my paint dries. Damn it. There we go. Right the rim. Now I don't know which way is up or down. Did I? I did, didn't I? Well, if I did, I don't see it. Brushes. What the fuck was my hair just doing? Right now, I got one camera that's like... Normally, I'm going to turn my body here. I normally face this way, towards my center monitor. But my painting is like a 90-degree turn to my left here. And I got a webcam that, you know, rests on my top monitor, but my tower is so far away that it doesn't stay there. So my solution has been to just get another webcam and have it affixed right here at the end of my table, and then in my tracker I just change what camera I use. I just haven't set up that camera yet, which is honestly a lot less hectic than moving the webcam around. I know some people are like, oh, just grab like an extender. Fun fact, not all cameras work with USB extenders. They'll come up as like, it'll say it's used by another program or something. So, stupid. All right, well, those are all drying. The book should be done. I want to grab, so this paint's like a lot thinner. I think it's from a resin kit, and it doesn't mix well with the other paints, but it's just so damn vibrant. That's all I need. That tiny little bead right there. There we go. And I'm just going to create a little bookmark for this sucker. Tiniest little bit on my brush here. I go right down the center spot. Go. Boop. And there you go. It just adds a little bit of extra, kind of like the tail over. Just like that. Yeah, boom. Now we got a little bookmark. Fact. Yes. Where's my glue? I'm just going to go ahead and attach this right now. The glue I'm currently using is actually an instant adhesive. This is not the stuff you normally want to use with models, but this thing kind of sticks anything to anything. It's great. So, the logo's a long way, and I love how quickly it bonds. I use this with like 3D printed materials. Boop. That's perfect. Place you up, pick you up. Place you on there. And then just let that dry. Speaking of dry, this should be done. And this should be done too. I get so much on my fingers after a while I can't tell. So this one has the most surface area. Just gonna rub. Don't need a fat bead of glue on there, because it's all just gonna squish out the sides then. Align the hinges and press. Oh yeah. That is a beautiful little chest. Compare it to its own. Do like a little before and after. Oh, you know what I missed? I didn't get the padlock on there. I should do that. Here's my little brush. There we go. This gives me plenty to hold on to now, too. Got little spots I missed. That looks better. That looks like a chest. Okie dokie. Worry about this barrel later. How's my bookshelf looking? Just about all the way dry. Okay. Since that's so close to being dry, since I still got a little bit of that red, I'm gonna grab some of these other colors. This is like a really potent, like indigo purple. I'll use this real thinly on a black base, and it actually is great for drow, or like dark elves. Light blue or dark blue. What's going on with this one? Get out! Alright, whatever. It's sharded. It's way too much. Oh, I have never used this light blue. You can tell because look how clean it is in there. Oh, that just came out perfectly. Oh, you know what? I did use a lot of this blue. I wonder if there's some paint, like, caked in the funnel. It caused it to be like a narrow passage. Mauve color, some other acrylic red. Just for a little variance. This is like burgundy red. And Troll Slayer orange. How often do you get to use that? I'm just gonna scoop a fat bead. I'll put you right there. Watch the brush. What are some other book colors? Green. You gotta have green tone. Let's just do a whole bunch of greens. Scoop. And poop. And I just got glue on my hand. Close that. Always cap. Always cap. One little bump or cuff catch and you got yourself a mess. Okay. Book time. So we got these really thin ones that'll have like front pages. And I don't see like contouring detail on them. So like this one on the top here. This one on the top here, I can do something on the side and the front. But what I can do is like I'll do it all one color, but then on the side I'll use some, like dry gold, and so that way it looks like it has a metal spine on the book. Let's just go ahead and start getting some of these suckers. There we go. The ones in the middle first. Should I? Yeah, I'll do the ones in the middle first. shelves, but like the middle of the books. And the reason I want to start on the ones in the middle is if I like, I'll do this intentionally, so I get like the book next to it, right? Well, I gotta paint that one anyway, so I can just go over it with the next one. Just kind of jump around. Getting close here. What I don't want to do is get it on the shelves. Little piece. Here we go. Roll that. Put it up. And that's still on there, so now I gotta repaint that part brown. Do this one flipped over. I'll do the center one. And then we're going to do all of these. Actually, no, I'll do just the cover. And then all these on the bottom will be that metal spine I was telling you about. Whatever. Okay. Next brush, next color. Use this red because it's been sitting out the longest. Get this one in the middle here. You in the middle. Then I'm not even, since there's so little in here, I'm just going to overwhelm it. Next color, which is this other red. Do this one on the edge here. And once again, I'm getting it on the shelves and I don't want that. Jump up to this book in the corner. You know, we'll make these all the same color. It's going to be a bunch of encyclopedias. Hear wife snoring. Oh, where'd I go? Jeez. Next one. Here's my other fine tooth. Fine tip. Let's get that orange out of the way. I want to use that orange so bad. Do this big hook on its own. This over. Gotta stop it on the wood. Jeez, I almost feel like I should have painted the books first and then the wood. Yeah, just the one orange. Just one. Clean the brushes, clean the brushes. Dry the wets, wet the dries. Randomly picked up the little ones. We'll do some green now. Wow, that turned more lime green than I was anticipating. That's kind of wild. Slaughter green. I'll do this one. Hang on, I gotta roll my tip. There we go. So now it's like a little tiny claw instead of a bunch of splayed hairs. That's like a neon green. Do I use these greens? If not, I need to. That looks loud. God, this library is going to look sick under a black light. Segan is out cold. Nope, she woke up. And she's talking shit about me in chat. Rude. Did you enjoy your nap, sweetie? Yeah. You passed out in the owl's nest. But yes. But did you want to play something? Oh, actually, I'm going to have to leave here shortly. Where is my... Where is it? Just in case I got a message. Okay, they did not end early. Good to know. Keep that on standby. Well, I shouldn't be gone long. We can play something when I get back. Actually, I might even be back around the time Void gets back. Maybe we can do some repo? How's the bookshelf looking, Miss Scholar? I think I know what woke you. I said the magical keywords. I said library and black light, and that's like your two safe words in the bedroom. That's too much. See, I like having a brush that's like just razor thin. I also heard, I heard Segan snoring, and that woke me up. Sometimes your snoring wakes me up. Ooh, that purple looks really good. Oh yeah, I'm glad I used that on the outward-facing book. Actually, I'm gonna do it to this whole tome row up here. Order now, and you can get the entire collection of Dark Tomes of Evil Magic. Just 10 easy payments of souls. Yeah, that looks good. What other colors do I still have here? Got this light blue. Oh no, it's doing that whole not wanting to adhere thing. Which is weird, because this is that like the same paint as the purple, and the purple didn't have this problem. Okay, I've got the green. Which I think is the same one here, right? What? Yeah, it is. You know what, this actually, I just wasted a bunch of green, but done all the colors that I put out. Don't want to do more. What I do want is some black. Black tones that I can add accent to. Have a little abyssal black. So abyssal black feels a little watery. Just start hitting the books on the edges here. Like, oh hell no, fuck you, Loki. You have to tell Mocha your stories, Loki. I'm sure she would love to hear about them. Ooh, so those will be in the Book of Shadowstones. Yeah, so I'm doing like evil tomes. What kind of stories would you like to hear? I have many. All DMs are storytellers. She's probably not on, but she doesn't know you had a wife. Well, she'll know now. Or, well, Loki doesn't. Loki has wives. Actually, I say wives, but he's only ever had the one. I don't think he was ever married to Angrboda. I think he just had a great time. Ooh, I know. The orange one, I'll do black on the spine here. Just rubbing it back and forth like that. You can still see the orange. Now it's like Halloween colors. It's the book on Halloween. Yeah, she didn't know that the stories of Loki, his kids, and Angrboda and Sigyn. That's like... It's like 4 stories. Pick one. I know you know them too. Tell you what, you pick one, I'll tell it, we'll clip it, and you can send it to Mocha. How does that sound? Does that work for you? The Sigyn stories. So that's actually a problem with Sigyn, is she's not in many of the stories. Thor and Odin are in more than half of them involving Loki. Shit, even Idun gets a whole thing. But Segan, yeah, she doesn't really have anything other than the torture of Loki at the very end. Getting comfortable here. She is most notoriously known for holding a bowl over the head of Loki while he is bound deep beneath the earth in a cave. Now, why he's... my model's fucking up. Why he's bound is an entirely different story, but what he basically did was a huge affront against the gods. All, not just the gods, all of mankind. He basically killed goodness. I say he killed, but again, it's a long story. Basically, he pissed everybody off, and his punishment was he... See, look how much I'm talking about Loki in the one story, including Segan. He was bound in a cave, and placed above his head was a serpent that would drip venomous, damn near acid, into his face and eyes, which is on your face. And he would writhe in such pain, and because he was bound so tightly, it would cause earthquakes. While his wife, Segan, often attributed to victory, would, by her own volition, that she wasn't punished. This wasn't like sins of the husband kind of thing. Her own volition, she stayed by his side and held a bowl over his head to catch the venom. But this wasn't some magical bowl that was bottomless. She would eventually have to leave her post to empty the bowl. And I know you couldn't just like throw it to the side of you, because after a while, and then you're just going to be standing in a puddle of your own problem. She would go to the far side of the cave, presumably, and empty the bowl. But during that time, while Loki's not being shielded, the venom would drip into his face, and he would cry in pain and writhe and wiggle and squiggle his bindings, and an earthquake would happen. Which is why we still have them today. So whenever an earthquake happens, that's Segan emptying the bowl. You can't blame her for the earthquake. That's still the serpent and Loki. So she's not to blame for it. But now you know why. It's never really been said how Loki got freed from his bindings come Ragnarok. And given her diligence to him, I don't think she's the one that freed him. I think her honor to the gods was just as strong as that to her husband. She would not interfere with his sentencing. She would not go against the will of the Aesir, the Vanir, any of that. But she also couldn't do nothing. Not while her beloved suffered. And so I don't think she's the one that frees him. But she is very devout and by his side. And that's lovely. A lot of people view Loki as a devil, the evil, whatever. But things aren't that black and white. It's not that simple always. There's all those shades of gray in between. At least 50. Now, maybe 51. But, oh my god, why wasn't that the sequel of the book? Did they ever do Segan, did they ever do a sequel to 50 Shades of Grey? Was it 51 Shades? Missed opportunity. Anyway. What was I talking about? All right, Segan's story. She is the best. And I do believe that we need more Segans in the world. People who find a way to help those who need it, even those who don't need it. Everyone could always use a little more help. So, Segan, goddess of the helpers. There were 3 books? What the fuck? There were 3 parts to 50 Shades of Grey? Alright. I'm gonna go get changed for work. So, we'll go ahead and end things there. Alright. Thank you, Segan. Love you. I'll see you online in a little bit.